You know what? Every time you call yourself
Go, guys.
World, that is an insult and a slap to the face to every single person in the back, in the locker room, who breaks their back week in, week out, on TV, on the road, around the world, to be WWE superstars.
Where have we all heard that before? Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. And tonight's episode of Smackdown Live started off with a bang. The Kevin Owens promo segment was fantastic. It was engaging, it was enthralling, it was interesting, and it got everybody hyped, right? It got you all excited for what was to come for the rest of the episode. Clearly, this is the beginning of the change that everybody was looking for, but... and there always is a but. I'm going to tell you why everything that happened tonight with Kevin Owens was nothing more than a bunch of bullshit, and I'm going to tell you about it right here and right now. My name is Nick Nightmare, and you are watching the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's Smackdown Live review. Let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it, and don't be fooled. And don't believe for 1 minute that I have fallen for it just because I am sitting here in my Kevin Owens hat to bring you guys my thoughts and reactions to tonight's lackluster episode of SmackDown Live. You can't start off a show with a bang like Kevin Owens did tonight and then effectively let the rest of the hour and a half be majority of a dud with a few little interesting sprinkles of something here and there for us to enjoy. But for the most part, tonight's episode of SmackDown Live was more of the same. The whole Kevin Owens thing, everybody's going to be talking about it, right? Everything that Kevin Owens said.
And it makes me sick.
It definitely makes me sick. I want to make that a loop on this channel, and I want every time we review Raw and SmackDown to just keep hearing that. It makes me sick. It makes me sick.
It makes me sick. It makes everybody sick.
It does make everybody sick. What is Kevin Owens talking about? He is talking about the poison that has been sweating all over the WWE for the last year, which is Shane McMahon. What are you talking about? Why are you saying all this stuff about the Kevin Owens great promo isn't so great, man? What's wrong with you, Mr. Nightmare? How can you not have enjoyed this? I didn't say I didn't enjoy it. I did not for 1 minute tell you guys I didn't enjoy this promo. It was fantastic. But it's bullshit. It's the WWE trying to pull the wool over our collective eyes, because you need to answer me one question. How many feuds does Shane McMahon need? Shane McMahon has been embroiled in some sort of a battle with The Miz since before WrestleMania. Shane McMahon has now been effectively transitioned to Roman Reigns with little sprinkles of The Miz littered throughout here and there when the occasion calls for it. Elias is still doing Shane McMahon's bidding, and Elias is fighting with The Miz all the time. And now, Kevin Owens too is going to be subjected to the dripping McMahon disease that is Shane. Why? Why? Kevin Owens is clearly a talented individual. Whether he is good, whether he is bad, Kevin Owens grabs your attention. What he says has meaning, and it has value to you because he comes off as genuine, and he has this intensity, and everything that he said tonight. It felt like to me that the guy was a big fan of this show. Many of the things that he has said have been phrases we have said on this very channel, talking about in reference to Shane McMahon and his overall overwhelming burden of a presence that has been poisoning the WWE landscape. I don't understand why Kevin Owens is being sacrificed and given to Shane McMahon. Why not build Kevin Owens up to be a superstar? I thought we were going to move Dolph Ziggler away from all of his crybaby bullshit, and we were going to see Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens. I wasn't sure why we turned Kevin Owens into a babyface so suddenly, but I wasn't mad at it. And here we are. And here I'm ready to see the launch of Kevin Owens. And they did effectively launch him tonight. But where did they launch him towards? Do we want to see more shit involving Shane McMahon? Do we need to have him in matches with Kevin Owens now? And if you don't think that's enough to convince you that the whole Kevin Owens maneuver was bullshit, this is the second time in 2 consecutive nights that the WWE has taken a superstar that has absolutely nothing to do with what is going on in the Roman Reigns Undertaker Shane Drew tag match at the the Extreme Rules pay-per-view this Sunday, just to gain your interest. What the hell does Kevin Owens care? Why would he have any other reason to care if not that Shane McMahon canceled his match tonight? And all that it was there for was so that during the end of tonight's show, when Roman was in the ring and Shane was out there sweating up a storm, Kevin Owens could come out, do the Austin 316 imitation, and leave. Get the crowd to pop, get everybody to be excited when Roman hit the spear, and get everybody to try to buy in to this tag team matchup. They did it last night with Gary the GOAT. We're not going to get back into Gary. All right? And if you missed the Gary rant, you are missing probably the finest minutes we have ever produced as it pertains to some comedy level stuff on this channel. I'm pretty sure most of you guys watching this watched the Raw review last night. If you didn't, it's definitely worth checking out. Probably the funniest episode I have ever done. Ever. And we could thank Gary for that for the most part. Because bad WWE TV makes for a very good review more often than not. And with the exception of the Kevin Owens opening, there was really nothing much to grasp onto on tonight's SmackDown Live. Let's listen a little more.
And you know what happens when you call yourself the best in the world? Everybody back there, including me, is thinking Shane McMahon can kiss my ass.
Ooh, I love that one. I love that one so much because I feel like a lot of the things he's saying definitely is the truth. It has to be how some of these superstars are feeling. What they're talking about when they're eating craft dinner and catering services in the back. Oh, man, fucking Shane McMahon, man. He's taking up all the TV time. He's leaving trails of sweat in the locker room. I'm slipping all over the place. Can't get a line on the show tonight. Kevin Owens even went as far as to name drop some people. Let's listen on a little more.
Because that ring does not belong now.
Oh, at this point, Shane McMahon cuts the man's microphone.
Kevin? Yeah, I'm not done. I would never call myself the best in the world. But there's 100 people back there that have a legitimate claim. And you take up TV time from Apollo Crews, Buddy Murphy, Ali, Liv Morgan, Oscar, get out of here, Kevin. Kyrie.
Interesting listing of names. Buddy Murphy was in there. Liv Morgan? He name dropped Liv Morgan in there. Shane McMahon is taking time from Liv. This is what Kevin Owens is telling the world. The AOP, Asuka. He's echoing all of the sentiments that we feel, and it was great, and that's why all of you guys ate it up. And you were like, yeah, listen to KO, he's saying what I'm feeling, man. And you wouldn't be wrong. But it's all by design. You think this is the first time that WWE had its retards checking the Twitter feeds and watching social media, checking the pulse of the community, seeing what we've all been saying, and then spitting it back at us as if they thought of this great fucking idea? This is the common criticisms of the WWE by a majority of us here on YouTube and in the wrestling community. This isn't fucking shocking. This isn't a revelation. Oh, Kevin Owens said everything everybody's feeling with a live microphone. They cut his mic twice. Was this a pipe bomb? Is this a KO pipe bomb? Woohoo! Let's get excited about it. Let's calm down. I feel like I've been telling you guys a lot to calm down. Everybody's so hungry for change. Everybody's so ready to grasp onto this and say, this is it. They've did it. They've fixed it. My WWE is back. That you take any little breadcrumb and want to make a whole sandwich out of it. And let me tell you, you can't make a sandwich with 2 pieces of breadcrumb. No matter how hard you try. It's not going to happen. SmackDown Live tonight, for the most part, followed the general WWE format. But there is one other thing I will give it credit for, and that is the usage of the picture-in-picture commercial break. As a fan, when you're watching this, you could just feel, it. The flow of the show is just different. Nothing really felt that rushed. Everything had time. Matches were given time to meld so that they were interesting and that things happened. They weren't wrapped up in 5-minute bundles. And it's something that I think Raw can take a major cue from if they really need to have the no action during commercial break rule. Why can they do it on SmackDown, but they can't do it on Raw? I don't understand it. Did you guys just feel how much fun it was to watch Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor wrestling for more than 4 minutes? It was great. This match itself doesn't make much sense to have right now. You got 2 guys that have been sitting on the back burner. Both of them need to kickstart their careers back up. Finn Balor's got the Intercontinental Championship around his shoulder. He's got to kickstart his career as well. And instead of building them up on a parallel path, on a very similar journey while they're both climbing back up the mountain so that they can eventually both hit the peak and battle over who stays at the top, you make them collide, boom, straight out the gate. Typical WWE shit. Oh, well, you said you wanted to see Finn and Shinsuke. Yeah, but I want it to mean something. And tonight, I did get a little excited. I did get a little lamped up coming off the whole Kevin Owens opening of the show. But by the end of Shinsuke versus Finn Balor, I was immediately back in the same boat without a paddle. I'm going, we are off the rails with this show already because I can tell by the way they booked the end of this matchup, pinning the champion's shoulders to the mat in order to establish that Shinsuke is back is the worst possible way to kick this thing off. I already told you, the parallel building of both of their singles careers to clash at the top later on is one way to go about it. But if you absolutely had to do this, all you really needed to do was have this match end with a double count out. Maybe these guys just ignore the referee's 10 count, or 5 count rather, and get double disqualified. Maybe they just go all out and brawl all over the arena and the match gets thrown out. Some sort of a way that there isn't some finality to the match that is damaging to one of the 2 superstars. It would make all of us want to see them get back at it. Look how intense they got. They didn't even care about the referee counting them out. They were beating the shit out of each other next to Corey Graves and his stupid bald head. You would have been hyped. You would have been excited about seeing them go at it, whether it be this Sunday at Extreme Rules for the second time, or whenever the hell they decide to do it. If they were smart, they'd be building this program up towards SummerSlam, but that's not where we're going. Finn Balor has already lost to Shinsuke Nakamura. And that's the worst way to establish a contender for the champion, because all it does is make your champion look like a scrub. Makes him look like he's insignificant, he can't defend his title, and he don't matter. Why are you the champion if when you get the champion, all you're supposed to do is lose whenever you have a non-title matchup? And there was no reason either of these guys had to win or lose this matchup. And from here on out for the rest of the night on SmackDown Live, we were in trouble. Especially since after this, they followed it up with Shane McMahon in the back with Drew McIntyre and Elias. They were talking about Roman Reigns and Cedric Alexander from last night. Elias is talking about having a funeral song of his own that he wrote for The Undertaker, which I could only assume I could only assume we're going to hear this Sunday, and I already don't want to hear it, if we're being honest about it. Dolph Ziggler came out of nowhere and approached Shane McMahon about canceling his match with Kevin Owens following the parking lot brawl, which actually is what began all of tonight's shenanigans with Kevin Owens. He was pissed off about the match being canceled, so he said what he said. Dolph came and was confronting Shane McMahon about the same exact issue, and Shane McMahon's answer is, I'll put you in the ring tonight with Roman Reigns. You could do us a favor. We got rid of Kevin Owens for you. You could soften up Roman Reigns for us tonight. And the main event of tonight's SmackDown Live is going to be Roman Reigns versus Dolph Ziggler, and I can immediately hear hundreds of remote controls being lifted from their seats to shift over to the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Because who really gives a shit about this? They recapped Samoa Joe versus Kofi Kingston and everything that has brought us to where we have come to leading into Extreme Rules this Sunday. Joe cut a tremendous promo backstage, but that's not news. Everybody knows Samoa Joe is a solid promo. He is intense, he is serious, and he is gunning for the WWE Championship. I do not understand how a man who so unceremoniously lost the United States Championship to Ricochet is immediately rewarded with a WWE Championship run. Normally, when you lose things, you don't get lifted up to the next level and just pretty much inserted into the championship title picture. Apparently in the WWE, all you need to do is mug the champion. You need to sneak attack him at some point and you will be rewarded with a championship match down the line. Don't worry about your win-loss record. Don't worry about establishing yourself as a superstar. Just go and jump the champ. And you got your match. And that's what's happening here with Samoa Joe. Why? I don't know, but I'll take it. Do you think they're going to give the championship to Samoa Joe? I don't. So this is another case of Samoa Joe building himself up to be a tremendous beast, only to be felled by Kofi Kingston this Sunday when the championship is on the line. Kayla Braxton hosted a contract signing for SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley versus Alexa and Nikki Cross and their handicapped matchup for the championship this Sunday. And exactly what I'm thinking when this is announced is, sure, last night's interview segment went so well. That's what we need, is more bullshit between these two. But this is not even the biggest problem I have with the whole scenario. What you guys need to do, and maybe somebody wants to do this just for fun and maybe you can get back to me, go back and watch from the minute this whole entire interview started to the second the match that would come next ended. I think the WWE now has the world record for the number of times you could say the name Alexa Bliss in a 10-minute time span. Holy shit, I thought I was losing my mind. At some point, I think I'm going to lay my head down on my pillow tonight and see little Alexa Bliss heads circling around me just so that I can fall asleep. Why are we so focused on the one girl that's not there? Bayley is the champion. Nikki Cross is the patsy. Nikki Cross is having a match tonight with Carmella following this unnecessary interview, which said everything that they said exactly last night. Okay? And all this was about was to sign the contract, but they had to drag it on by saying the same old shit that we heard yesterday. And then Nikki Cross has her match with Carmella. The entire way through, I believe the only thing they talked about was Alexa Bliss. Why she's friends with Nikki Cross? No. You know, anything deep and meaningful? No. Just constantly, blah, 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 blah. Alexa Bliss. Oh, and Alexa Bliss, and blah, 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 blah. And Alexa Bliss. Oh, Nikki Cross, if she loses, she's going to lose a title for Alexa Bliss. And what is Alexa Bliss going to feel about Alexa Bliss? And can Alexa Bliss have Alexa Bliss Day in Alexa Bliss Land with Alexa Bliss people all over the Alexa Bliss fucking world? I was trying to go for it, and there's no way I'm going to top them. They are ridiculous with the amount of times that girl's name was said. As if the whole entire fucking women's division revolves around her. What the hell happened to Charlotte? Where are all the other girls? Why for every single week, Monday and Tuesday, are we only seeing the same handful of 6 girls? Why? If you could explain it to me, the comments section is down there for you to point it out, because I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out for the life of me. Nikki Cross defeats Carmella in a match that wasn't necessary, and I didn't care. Then we have a backstage segment with Paige. Paige, the British Crumpet. She's back with her Kabuki Warriors, and I hate it. I hate it. She just does not fit. She's not Mr. Fuji. She's not Freddie Blassie. She's not Bobby Heenan. She's not Miss Elizabeth. Man, she's not even Sunny. She's Paige, man. She does not belong managing a tag team, especially a tag team the likes of Kairi Sane and Asuka, the Kabuki Warriors. I don't like it. It doesn't look good. I don't like the fact that they are taking this long to get the Kabuki Warriors in position to take those titles off of the Iconics, because the WWE doesn't give a shit about the Iconics. I'm sorry, guys, they don't. You can't look at how they book these girls and tell me that they give a shit. Fans, for the most part, don't care. These girls come out, it becomes silent, nobody cares. Nobody cares about the WWE Tag Team Championships for the women's division. Everything has gone to shit, so they need to inject it with something. And if you want to give it to Kairi and Asuka, that just might be the shot in the arm it needs. The one thing bringing it down, Paige. I just hate it. I can't even really delve into the reasons why. It just comes off as not genuine. It comes off as forced, and I just don't get it. There's a bunch of other girls she could be managing. It would have made much more sense and wouldn't have been as nauseating if she was re-teamed with Absolution. Because at least that would make sense. When did she become such good friends with these two that now she's going to guide their careers? I don't get it. Anyway, they put on a little display in the back with the champions, the Iconics. The Iconics claiming to be sick tonight, and that's why they're not going to defend their championships or whatever. Paige slaps the taste out of Billy Kay's mouth. And nothing would come of it. Paige pretty much just telling everybody that they're going to win the titles eventually if the Iconics ever have the balls to get in the ring and defend them. Which everybody knows is not really up to them. Right? So we just got to wait for the match to be booked. And we'll see what happens. They had to look back at everything with Gary, right? We had to go back and revisit Gary Land. Next. The misdirection and the misuse of Cedric Alexander to do the same thing that was done tonight to Kevin Owens, to just be a literal shield to gain interest and make it seem like people give a shit about what's happening with Roman and The Undertaker and the sweatiest tag team in the world. Big E and Xavier Woods of the New Day come out for this tag team summit. I don't know why we're having a tag team summit and why we had to waste time with all the promo stuff. However, I did enjoy a lot of what was said tonight. The New Day come out doing what the New Day does. They made us laugh, and you could start to see the breaking of the chains a little bit as far as it goes with that PG rating. Rumors running around saying the WWE trying to get edgier, trying to appeal to the 18 to 34-year-old market, so they're going to try maybe to inject it with a little attitude. They didn't use those words, but that's effectively what they're trying to do. Tonight, this segment alone between Big E talking about how when he was told this Sunday they were going to have a three-way, a triple threat match, is not what he thought they were going to be having. which definitely made me smirk a little bit. Then he had to say some shit about the New Day touching their championship tips, and I thought that was a tad over the line. It just was a little bit unnecessary. We had Big Otis coming out telling everybody he's coming. I'm coming! And these are the level of sexual puns you get with a bunch of apes that work for the WWE to write this garbage. I'm coming! Otis is a coming! I can't. The shining spot of this whole thing, as always, is Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan coming out, always great on the mic, always fantastic in the ring. The New Day did fire off one really good shot tonight, which was pointed in the direction of Recycle Rowan, which was the fact that, Eric Rowan, what's your deal, man? Right now, you're following Daniel Bryan, but you used to follow Bray Wyatt. You used to take orders from Luke Harper, and now we're having trouble trying to figure out who your daddy is, which made the bearded behemoth pissed off as he started to make his way to the ring. But that would be quelled by Daniel Bryan, of course, giving the orders for him to follow, just like the New Day had pointed out. Heavy Machinery then interrupted. They were mocking everybody. And like I said, Otis was coming down for this triple threat matchup featuring one member of each of the tag teams that are going to be in the tag team triple threat match on Sunday. Otis wins this one, which was a little bit surprising to me. Otis defeated Daniel Bryan and Xavier Woods here. This was an entertaining affair. I think Otis is great. The man suplexed two human beings all by himself. Xavier Woods is no lightweight. Daniel Bryan is no lightweight. And Otis definitely is not a lightweight, and he can handle his strength. The man is impressive, and this match was a little bit of fun. I thought this was a very good triple threat matchup. I thought it was a great way to gain interest to the triple threat tag team matchup. This is the type of stuff that I was looking forward to seeing come back to wrestling. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it all makes sense. I wasn't appreciative of how long all of the promos took, but each team did deliver well and did have entertaining promos. I thought Heavy Machinery looked great here too, and I'm totally okay with it. After this matchup, in the back we see Ember Moon in catering. Why we gotta show how many people are being wasted in the back in catering, I'll never know. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville show up to stir the pot and cause some shit. They grab a couple of oranges for shits and giggles, I guess. I think they could have literally grabbed any fruit. It wouldn't have made a difference. That's neither here nor there. Just something that I noticed. Oh, both of these girls grabbed a couple of oranges. Maybe they were peaches. I don't know. But whatever they were, they looked delicious. They said last week's loss brought them closer together. And Ember Moon would be challenged by Mandy Rose to find a tag team partner to face them next week. All the while, Drake Maverick was hiding under the table. And thankfully, there was not much of the 24/7 I'm a Clown Avocado Toast Golden Record Championship belt on this show tonight to bring me down. Maybe that's why it was a little bit more digestible than a normal episode of SmackDown Live has become. Ali cut another fantastic promo. I am loving this side of Ali. I wonder why they don't do more of this with other talents. Instead of having Aleister Black sitting in the dark, seething like a Tasmanian devil, give him compelling and interesting things to say. I don't think the WWE is writing his promos because he's drawing from his real-life experience as a police officer. He has an intensity in his voice and in his eyes that just makes you believe that there's something special about this kid. And you want to see more of it. I definitely want to see more of it, and I wish they would do more of it. with others as well. This was a great fucking promo. One of the best lines was the line he finished with, "Evil only wins when you don't show up to fight." That's a fucking great line. It's a great line, and you should hold that line to your heart because it is absolutely true. Evil will always win if you don't put your dukes up. At least if you fight, there's a chance you're going to come out on top. If you don't even put out a fight at all, you're definitely going down. It's a great message. And this was a great promo. And it was immediately followed by a split-screen interview with Aleister Black. And apparently, the mystery opponent was going to be kept in the dark. Literally. And he said that he was not going to reveal himself on this night to Aleister Black. Both gentlemen have apparently signed the contract for this Sunday. And you're telling me that Aleister Black sitting down to this interview not knowing who his opponent is, but he signed a piece of paper that has a name on it of the opponent he was facing? Or did they both just sign independent contracts from one another that state, hey, you're just going to fight somebody, anybody, whoever we say, and we're totally alright with it? I don't understand. Stupid writing. Very big loophole that some asshole like me just can't get over. How does the man sign the contract and not see the name in the print? I understand if maybe they gave it to Aleister Black to sign first, but there are 2 lines on the paper. Everybody's name is printed underneath the signature line on a contract. That's how a contract works. His name was on the paper. But Aleister Black don't know who he's facing. But he signed the contract, and he's not going to come out tonight. But oh wait, he is going to come out tonight. Why tell us he's not coming out tonight and then have him immediately come out tonight? Oh, your opponent chose not to come out tonight to leave you in the air of mystery and to... Oh, wait, never mind. Here he is. What? And then Cesaro sits down and he's still got his mouthpiece in there and he's like, I'm here to pick a fight with you. And then Aleister Black starts... heavy breathing like a horny dog. Fight with me. Fight. They've turned Aleister Black into gibberish. And I hate it. However, if given a proper amount of time, this is going to be a fucking bomb burner of a match. However, it suffers the same criticism from me that I give to you guys for the Shinsuke Finn Balor match of this evening. Though there is no championship on the line, Cesaro has been steadily rebuilding himself in the singles division. Aleister Black has yet to prove himself in the singles division. If this match doesn't go to some sort of a draw, or some sort of a double count out, or a time limit, or something, they will have epically failed one of these 2 superstars. Because Aleister Black is clearly in need of a win, to have him show the entire WWE Universe, hey, I'm here and you should cheer for me. Cesaro, on the other hand, has already been working on it. They only gave him 1 minute to do so last night, but he's been in the ring, he's got new theme music, he's still over with the crowd, and he's trying to maintain his momentum. And by having them clash and one of them straight up losing, you are going to extinguish somebody's momentum. And at a time of, I was going to say a time of the year, but at the time in history when the WWE needs to be making stars and needs to be latching on to the talent that the people want to see, this needs to be handled very carefully. And if they do not do something creative to protect both of these gentlemen in this situation, then this will be just another one in a long line of WWE failures that we have all come to expect to this point. Then we have this. Shelton Benjamin, the Thinker. Is that his thing? Is he the thinking man? Someone's going to ask me a question, and it's going to be an extreme close-up. So we don't know who is asking a question. But somebody asked him a question. I didn't even know what question he was being asked because I'm too busy trying to figure out why we're so zoomed in on Shelton Benjamin. And Shelton Benjamin is doing his eyeball thing again. But this time it looks like he's going to speak, and he says, well, he didn't say it like Road Warrior Hawk, like I just did, but he just, well, and it was barely audible, as if they cut the microphone because nobody knew he was going to speak. And then he slowly walks off camera once again, like he did last week. What is happening to Shelton Benjamin? They turned the gold standard into a gold turd. I don't understand it. Oh, be patient. Look what happened with Bray Wyatt. It turned out to be... What could this turn out to be? What could it possibly turn out to be that's going to be good for Shelton Benjamin? We go back to the back again, where Kayla Braxton is now interviewing Kofi Kingston, only this time we're not in extreme close-up, and we can see Kayla Braxton doing the interview. And Kofi Kingston is addressing the situation with Paul Heyman showing up in the back. He didn't say a fucking word, but Paul Heyman just walked through. That's them letting you know, or trying to make you remember what Paul Heyman said last night. Oh, Brock Lesnar might be cashing in on Sunday. And I'll believe that shit when I see it. Kofi Kingston talked about all of the controversy from last week, flipping off Samoa Joe, and how he welcomes the challenge because by defeating guys like Joe, he's going to become the greatest WWE champion of all time. And that is a correct statement. When you beat a guy like a Samoa Joe, you beat guys like a Braun Strowman, it really does something to solidify your legacy in the eyes of the general public because they're so much bigger and stronger, and you're overcoming the odds, the David versus Goliath thing, so there is some validity to what the champ is saying here. I just wish he was going up against somebody that made a lot more sense. Samoa Joe is from Monday Night Raw. He lost the United States Championship, and now he's going for the World Heavyweight Championship, and there's just something that seems a little off about the whole situation. But I'll be forgiving because I love Kofi Kingston and I also love Samoa Joe, so I am interested to see how this match is going to turn up when they go at it for the championship this Sunday. And then the show ended with Roman Reigns defeating Dolph Ziggler, as if you had any indication or you really thought for a half a second that maybe it was going to end in a different way. You would be absolutely nuts if that's what you thought. This match was inconsequential. I really barely even paid attention because I had no interest in seeing Roman Reigns build momentum by shitting all over Dolph Ziggler once again. This guy was just on Instagram earlier this week talking about he needs to do something to get back to Dolph Ziggler. He's not going to be the showstopper. He's not going to be the show off. He's just going to be Dolph Ziggler. And apparently Dolph Ziggler, just being Dolph Ziggler, is a Dolph loser. Which is what he has been for the last how many fucking months already. Who cares about Dolph Ziggler at this point? Now you fed him to the big dog. All his momentum has been squashed, if you want to call what he's been doing building momentum. Why does anybody give a shit? Why is he getting involved in helping out Shane McMahon in the first place? Who cares that he sent Kevin Owens home tonight? That's a reason for you to get in the ring with Roman Reigns? And then I see all the idiots on Twitter. Oh, I like how Dolph Ziggler has balls. I like how he's not afraid to challenge the big dog. Shane McMahon just told him you're going to fight Roman Reigns, and he was like, cool. So what? Who cares? Oh, he's got a great attitude, so he's going to go out there and fucking job to the big dog. Even though he's got nothing to do with what the hell is going on in anything that Roman Reigns is doing. The Shane McMahon effect. Stranglehold on this whole entire company. On the outside of the ring, you got his other knuckleheads. You got Drew I don't give a shit. You got Elias out there. The deck firmly placed against Roman Reigns. Only this time, it's not Gary that comes to his aid. It's not Cedric Alexander coming out again, trying to tell everybody why he did anything or, having consistency. Well, I had his back last night. I got his back tonight, too. No. What did we get? We got Kevin Owens breaking his way back into the arena. Nobody knows how he got back in the arena. Nobody in the back seen or stopped Kevin Owens. It's a pretty standout guy. I think you'd be able to recognize him. But Kevin Owens makes his way to the ring. He starts fucking stunning everybody. The match still going on. Next thing you know, Dolph Ziggler gets hit with a spear. And it's over. It's literally over within seconds because I guess they had the timing wrong with this show. Because the match was... He was counting to 3 while the signature was going up in the bottom right corner of the show. That's how close they were cutting it to missing the end of this matchup. Kevin Owens hightailed it out of there before anything can happen. We had an Austin recreation for Kevin Owens. He hit the ring to knock a McMahon out with a Stone Cold Stunner. Attitude, right? They're bringing it all back. And they're not even deciding to do it in a new or creative way. They're just going to reboot, just like all these fucking franchises in Hollywood. They're going to reboot the most classic angle in professional wrestling because they're going to have Kevin Owens in the part of Austin 316. Stunning Shane instead of Vince, who's still a McMahon. And it's going to bring clarity to the wrestling world, and the heavens are going to open up, and there's going to be pancakes and unicorns and rainbows for fucking everybody. This is a ploy. This is bullshit, and this is nothing, ladies and gentlemen, but another reason to keep Shane McMahon on TV, giving him a relevant feud versus a red-hot opponent now because everybody's going to be clamoring at the beak to get their eyeballs on Kevin Owens now, right? Some of us have always been there with KO. And this is an interesting turn of events. But the biggest thing wrong with SmackDown Live is Shane McMahon. And the fact that Kevin Owens is just now being placed to be next in line after Roman Reigns does whatever it is he's going to do with Shane, I'm assuming Kevin Owens will be next. Shane McMahon will blame Kevin Owens for him losing to Roman Reigns, and down a whole nother fucking sweat-dripped path we will be sliding down like a slip and slide down a mountain. And that ain't something I want to see. Give me Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton. Give me Kevin Owens versus Drew McIntyre even. I was so ready for it. I was ready to accept Dolph Ziggler in all his crybaby glory to just have a decent and different feud with a guy like Kevin Owens and get him going in the proper direction. And while they did take steps to give him some upward momentum and a positive trajectory tonight, it's all like Cody Rhodes' old theme song, Smoke and Mirrors. Because they really just want you focused in on Roman Reigns and The Undertaker. Don't believe me? 2 nights in a row, main eventing the show with some weird, crazy run-in coincidences. Come on, man. It's writing on the wall type stuff. And I know you're not stupid because you're one of the fans of the greatest wrestling podcast to hit YouTube in quite some time. The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show is here, and it is live for you guys every single week following Raw and SmackDown Live. SmackDown Live is a better word for it because that's what it felt like. It felt like watching a big giant nutsack just swinging in the wind. Right, that is enough of that. Thank you guys all that have come aboard the Sledgehammer TV family, all of the subscribers that have been jumping on board, and this is my time to invite all of you who are not subscribers, who might happen to still be here with us at the near 45-minute mark as we brought the hammer down on SmackDown Live, to smash that subscribe button right now and become one of the over 1,700 plus that know when they want their professional wrestling and entertainment news bullshit-free with truth and a whole lot of laughs. Sledgehammer TV is the place to be, the home of hammering Hollywood as well. We just brought the hammer down on Spider-Man Far From Home, which was far from good. for one specific reason, and you have to check that out to find out what it is. We talked about the Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff stuff when they were announced and why it wasn't really the proper decision for what is needed for the company. We have that is live on the channel. Our WWE 2K19 simulations for Stomping Grounds, and we did Money in the Bank ladder matches, all with commentary by yours truly. They're live for your viewing pleasure when you see fit. We also brought the hammer down on AEW Fighter Fest for all you WWE diehards out there that like to watch my show and tell me to go fuck myself and watch AEW and lick Cody Rhodes' nuts and all these other things that I like to see popping up in my comment section. That episode specifically is for you because I am no mark. I do not look all over the world for wrestling. I take my wrestling from the WWE primarily, and then anybody else worth a damn. And I hear Impact Wrestling might be worth getting back into, so maybe I will peruse into that at some point. But AEW is not safe. And I am not a WWE hater. In fact, my hate from the WWE stems from how much I love this fucking company since I'm knee-high to a grasshopper and want to see it restored to its former greatness. And if my voice can hit the right ears or can at least educate fans enough to stop being so positive about this shit and speak up against it, maybe one day we can all make a change. There's a whole lot of guys out there like me. We are not alone out there, and we are all congregating here right now on the coolest, newest channel in your life, which is Sledgehammer TV. I'm going off the rails a little bit myself. I think wrestling has got me all delirious. So let's get to the outro of this show. Thank you all once again for being a part of this show. If you liked anything we had to say or do here today, smash that thumbs up button. Let me know and let the world know that you like what's going on here by giving me the old Fonzie. Ay. I appreciate that very much. And then share this video with each and every one of your wrestling buddies all over the wrestling world, especially if they're not too sure exactly how to feel about tonight's episode of SmackDown Live. You know exactly where to direct them because we need to educate them, and we can do it together as the family that we are here and have become on my channel, which I love so very much, just like I love each and every one of you. Do you know who we are? This is the team for the Sledgehammer, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, his tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world. And if you have ever seen another show with the World Heavyweight Championship microphone, you would be crazy because there isn't one. This is the only one, and his name is Mr. Blue the Snowball, the most important member of the team, as always. Each and every one of you, I can't thank you enough for being here. Let's get this channel to 2,000 subscribers before the end of July. You have the power to do it. Make sure you smash that button right now. That, my friends, is going to do it, and we are out of here, and we will see you next time right here on your new favorite wrestling show, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only on Sledgehammer TV, right here on YouTube.com.